Big Game 29, Bugs versus Daffy.
Welcome, everybody, to the Cartoon Network Sports Big Game pregame show featuring the matchup between that wascally wabbit, Bugs Bunny, and his sometimes friend, sometimes foe, Daffy, always good to his mother duck. I'm Len Dawson, and with me once again this year are my good friends Nick Bonacani, Jerry Glanville, and Chris Collinsworth. Joining us for the very first time, former NFL great quarterback Dan Marino.
All right,
Dan,
Danny.
Dan, being this is your first year with us on the Big Game pregame show, I have to ask you, what's your take on all of this?
Well, tell me, these are cartoons, right?
You're exactly right, yes.
Okay. And they're playing in the big game?
Hey, this guy's quick, isn't he? Yeah, better than he is. Okay, Chris?
It's going to be hard to top that type of hype from the high-minded Dan Marino and all that insight, because I can barely express how thrilled I am about this year's matchup. Bugs and Daffy, these are two of the hardest-working players in the game today, or at least one of them in a duck. Yet they've been going out there and winning all season long.
Chris, I tell you touched on exactly what makes these two players great. They're part of the old guard. Toughing it out in the trenches, game after game, week after week, not making any excuses, not signing those big endorsement deals like Marino, and not having their, that's true, not having their mugs plastered on every single back-to-school product you can possibly dream up. But the bigger point is that in this climate of new characters that come with all their fancy packaging, I don't think anyone could have predicted that Bugs and Daffy would be here today.
Not so fast, Nick. I tell you who would have predicted it. Me. That's right. Make your little comments now. But that is exactly what I said would happen at the beginning of the season. And a classic matchup like this is exactly what the big game is all about. Two seemingly harmless species pitted against each other in a battle to the end. Duck versus rabbit, rabbit versus duck. It's a battle as old as time itself.
The only thing as old as time itself is how long it took you to make that lousy speech.
Lousy speech? How can you say that?
I knew you would claim that you predicted this all along. That's why I saved a little tape back in September, and I want to roll it now.
Write it down, fellas. Here's my pick for the Big Game 29. Thundar the Barbarian versus Scrappy-Doo. And I'll stand by that pick to the end.
And you stood by it as long as Scrappy lasted in the playoffs.
That's not my voice. I haven't seen lip sync that bad since Milli Vanilli.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought, girl, you know, it's true. It was a pretty darn good song.
Mr. Bravo?
Oh, man. Who said that?
Can I give you a hand?
No thanks, dog.
I'm a mole.
Hey, how about a swig of that pop pooch?
No, it's mine.
Oh, yeah.
It was mine. My soda.
Hey, dog. Cash.
I'm not a...
We're not witches, baby.
I like go out of my head.
I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough.
All the things you're doing to me and everything you said even.
I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough. We slip and slide as we fall in love. And I just can't seem to get enough.
I just can't get enough.
I just can't get enough.
Welcome back to the Big Game pregame show. As most of you probably can guess, one of the players in today's big game is heavily favored to win. He's part Groucho Marx, part Karl Marx, part Brer Rabbit, part Jack Rabbit, part Killer Rabbit from that Monty Python movie. I'm talking, of course, about Bugs Bunny.
How many rabbits are self-made billionaires, live on a Beverly Hills estate, and pal around with the likes of Hugh Hefner? Only one, Bugs Bunny. Athlete, star of stage and screen, opera singer, inventor, military hero, comedian, politician, and corporate shill. But it wasn't always so. Bugs Bunny was born in the heart of Manhattan. He was a sweet little rabbit, but one that quickly learned that a smile and a cute cottontail were not enough to survive in the back alleys of New York City. It was there that Bugs learned street smarts and acquired the New York attitude that has become his trademark. When he came of age, Bugs traveled the world in search of adventure. Shunning the dull indignities of a day job, he chose to live by his wiles, digging shelter wherever he stopped, and nibbling on that always half-eaten carrot stowed away in his back pocket. Some say it was fate that brought Bugs to the Cartoon Network League. Taking a wrong turn at Albuquerque, Bugs popped up in the middle of a game in Spain between a bull and a matador. To the surprise of fans and officials, Bugs bested them both. The crowd was hooked. Bugs had at last found a way to do what he did best: outwit the slow-witted, and get paid for it, handsomely. Bugs quickly established himself as a player with a sense of humor. He would appear to be kind to his opponents, offering them a kiss, or a haircut, or a friendly light, then leave them to defeat themselves. Bugs Bunny soon carved out a winning record second to none. He broke new ground, introducing the cross-dressing defense, the pronoun reverse, the rabbit hole formation, and he also coined the league's first catchphrase.
What's up, Doc? 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 What is up, Monsieur Le Physician?
This marketing coup would be emulated by athletes and Saturday Night Live characters for years to come. Not content to just excel in sport, Bugs set his sights on other things: acting, singing, long-distance advertising. And everything this Midas Bunny touched turned to gold. He had moved from mere athlete to superstar to American icon. In 1994, Bugs was the first living American to be commemorated on a stamp. But not all is rosy for this bunny. Bugs' age and a series of bad marriages may be taking their toll.
No, I won't.
And his sheer overexposure could result in a backlash sociologists dub bunny fatigue.
What's up, Doc?
For although America loves a winter, they also love to see a winter fall, and fall hard. To add to his troubles, Bugs has made some enemies hopping his way to the top. Elmer Fudd, Yosemite Sam, Blackjack Shellac, Marvin Martian, the Tasmanian Devil, Mojo Jojo, Napoleon, the King of England, these hillbillies, this red monster guy, and of course, Daffy Duck. With so many foes, how long can an aging rabbit stay at the top of the heap? Can Bugs keep his championship form another year? Or have his lucky rabbit's feet gotten too many bunions? Will Daffy finally usurp Bugs' throne? Today will tell. But whatever the outcome of today's game, Bugs Bunny, the little smart aleck from New York, will always receive top billing in our hearts.
This portion of the Big Game pregame show is sponsored by Brack Chews, the chewy candy that you chew. Brack Chews.
Hey, everybody. Look at me. I got my very own candy.
While Daffy Duck is practically a household name, when you stop to think about it, what do most of us really know about him? Well, he's cute, he's energetic, he's wanted in 17 states. So what then about the duck behind the duck behind the duck? Good question.
You handsome duck, you. I kind of stand out in the crowd, don't I? 'Cause this little black duck may be small, but I'm not a coward. Oh, you rogue. I may be a craven little coward, but I'm a greedy craven little coward.
Daffy Dumas Duck, born an orphan duck during the height of the Depression, or perhaps to the upper crust during the peak of the Renaissance, or maybe something else altogether. The truth is that not much is known about Daffy Duck's early years, but it's believed that he grew up fast, then worked his way through a series of odd jobs, probably because he wasn't very good at any of them. Floor sweeper, salesman, amateur musician, tap dancer, sailor, game warden, film director, explosives expert, cavalry general, scat singer, toll keeper, superhero, reporter, detective, tour guide, matador, bellboy, stripper, swami, artist, and dinner entree. He found the Cartoon Network League almost by accident. One lazy Sunday afternoon, he was smashing a casual acquaintance squarely over the head. A scout noticed and told him he had game. The next day, Daffy signed a 6-year contract that allowed him to hang up his broom forever, or at least cut back on his hours. During those early years, Daffy often shared a room with teammate Porky Pig, who had this to say. Thanks, Porky. The Cartoon Network League was the perfect fit for Daffy's unorthodox style. He's dominated his division, even if he has led the league in penalties every season. And he's had a spectacular career, although it has been unfortunately marred by 2 blemishes. First, the accusations of womanizing. While extremely frank about his anti-female positions,
I'm a woman hater.
The evidence showed a much different story. For years, Daffy reportedly hopped from coop to pen, romancing ladies by the score, almost regardless of species.
I love that duck.
Eventually, he settled down, raised a family, and put the rumors to rest. But the second blemish on Daffy's otherwise brilliant career has been harder to erase. That is, his rivalry with Bugs Bunny. In meeting after meeting, the bunny has bested the duck. And while he's had a storybook career, Daffy now risks going down in the record books as the guy who couldn't win the big one. Will that change today? With the help of a legion of loyal fans and the support of his loving family, will today be the day that Daffy Dumas Duck rises above it all to finally put Bugs in his place? Probably not. But that's not going to stop him from trying. After all, that's why we play the big game.
George Jetson.
Is you is or is you ain't my baby? Maybe baby's found somebody new. But they don't think my baby is still my baby true.
This portion of the Big Game pregame show is sponsored by Brack Chews, the chewy candy that you chew. Brack Chews.
I can't find my shoes. Come to think of it, I can't find my legs either. Hey, do people know where my legs are? I don't know where they are. Ah!
In a sport as complex as this, many aspects of the game can be taken for granted or even overlooked altogether. Field conditions, caliber of equipment, tipping the refs, and such is often the case with fashion. So for a closer look at how the uniforms affect the game, we go now to Cartoon Network's Fashion Stop.
To paraphrase the immortal words of ZZ Top, everybody's crazy about a sharp-dressed man. Words of wisdom that can also be applied to rabbits and ducks. And that's why players like Bugs and Daffy go the extra mile to make sure they look good at game time. Bugs is a traditionalist who opts for a classic rabbit fur, gray with white accents, including white gloves. Formal? Perhaps, but it's easy to see why guys like him multiply. Daffy, on the other hand, looks great in your basic black with a smart white collar, an extremely bold and interesting choice. And strategically, Daffy knows that black looks less appetizing to hungry opponents. But what really separates these two players from the rest of the pack is their advanced fashion strategies. That is, their decision to cross-dress. Some critics have charged that this is an area where Daffy just doesn't measure up. For instance, here we see him preparing to do a can-can. But look at what he's done. That wig? Please. I've seen better rugs on Burt Reynolds, although I'm not positive that he still cross-dresses. Bugs, on the other hand, takes advantage of his versatility. In addition to looking absolutely fetching in this long skirt and blouse combo, Bugs shows his soft side with his seemingly magical ability to take on the appearance of a female bunny. I wouldn't be surprised if someday he finally went ahead and made the leap. As for today, look for both of these players to change outfits early and often. They both know that the right ensemble can help you hit your opponent with the element of surprise and keep you off Joan Rivers' blacklist. I'm Harry Callis.
When I grow up, I want to pound rocks in a quarry all day long.
I want to suffer endless ridicule for being smart instead of a babe.
Ride around in a van.
Be second banana. I want to stay barefoot and in the kitchen.
Yabba.
Yabba.
Yabba dabba jinkies.
When I grow up. When I grow up. When I grow up, I want to pass the same curtains in the same window day after day after day after day after day.
This portion of the Big Game pregame show is sponsored by Brack Chews, the chewy candy that you chew. Brack Chews.
Now it contains 50% less horse meat.
It's often said that behind every great man is a great woman. Behind every great player is a great coach. And behind Jerry Glanville is a pile of Nilla wafers this high.
Hey!
Hey! But back to the coaches. I'm joined now by the two coaches of this year's big game, Bugs Bunny's coach Dexter and Daffy's coach Mojo Jojo. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us.
Hello.
Greetings, Christopher.
Mojo, Daffy's clearly the underdog in today's matchup. How does that affect your strategy?
Underdog? He is not an underdog. You're implying that victory is unlikely, doubtful, contrary to reasonable expectation. That is not the case.
You are stupid. Of course he is the underdog. Anyone who dares to compete against my rabbit is the underdog.
Your rabbit?
I was speaking metaphorically, Chris Collinsworth. Something you would not understand, seeing as you do not even know how to spell your own first name. Have you ever heard of the letter H?
Yes.
My genius brain has developed an unstoppable strategy. It combines Vince Lombardi's power sweep, the sassy moves of pop idol Britney Spears, and Attila de Huns' glorious turn and burn pillaging of Europe. Bugs will easily burrow through Daffy's defense, scoring effortlessly past this stupid duck.
It's true, burrowing has worked for Bugs in the past. How will Daffy handle that, Mojo?
Burrow. I hope Bugs Bunny does burrow so that he can take another wrong turn, just as he did in Albuquerque. Pismo Beach, why was he looking for that beach anyway? Long Beach is much nicer, or even Monterey. Then he could have gotten away from the smog. My point is that for too long, Daffy Duck has been living under the shadow of Bugs Bunny, just as I, Mojo Jojo, have been living far too long under the shadow of those rotten Powerpuff Girls.
Okay, Mojo, I think we're getting a little off track here.
Yes, stop rambling, you stupid monkey.
Stupid monkey! Such insolence! My duck will outfly your bunny, outswim your bunny, and outfly your bunny! And when we are done, you will go crying back into your laboratory like the little diapered baby that you are.
That's great trash talk, Mojo. But exactly how is Daffy going to do that?
With my top secret woohoo offense. Take a look.
Does woo have 2 O's or 3?
Dexter?
Wait, are you writing that down? You cannot write that down. That is unfair. Bad sportsmanship, foul play. Which is to say that you are breaking the rules of sportsman's etiquette.
Whoa, okay, gentlemen, that's all we've got time for right now.
This portion of the Big Game pregame show is sponsored by Brack Chews, the chewy candy that you chew. Brack Chews.
If you look on the back, there might be a recipe or a coupon or something, but I'm not the one to ask because I don't look on the back. I tell other people look on the back at some other package and they, made cookies from it.
One of the most beloved rituals associated with the big game every year, other than the toilet papering of Nick Bonaconti's house, is the tailgate party. And once again this year, Cartoon Network Sports has sent correspondents out into the world to cover these raucous events. First reporting from Bugs Bunny's official celebration at the Planet Hollywood restaurant in Pismo Beach is Tom Clark. Tom?
Thanks, Len. I'm standing in one of the most sought-after locations in the world right now, the Bugs Bunny pregame gala. Hollywood has always embraced Bugs Bunny, and today is no different. The guest list reads like a dream episode of The Love Boat. Just moments ago, I saw Ricky Martin, Steve Martin, and Martin Lawrence going in. Now expected to arrive any minute are Leonardo DiCaprio, Sylvester the Cat, and Charo.
It sounds great, Tom, but wouldn't an even more sought-after location be inside the restaurant where you could actually talk with some of these folks?
That's a tricky situation, Len. You see, at this time, I can't actually get into the party itself, although I have staked out a premium location right here on the sidewalk, directly in the path from the street to the door. Now, apparently they're operating under a very mysterious and strict system in which people going into the party are required to possess some sort of secretly encoded paper device.
Like an invitation.
I can't confirm that that's what they're calling it, but if that's the word you want to use.
Were you able to interview Ricky Martin or any other celebrities going in?
I wasn't able to get an in-depth interview per se, but I did get a rather nasty bruise from one of Rosie O'Donnell's bodyguards. Excuse me. No, what? What do you mean? No, wait a minute. Hold on.
Are you all right there, Tom?
Oh, no. I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm just moving over to get a better perspective on the music. Yes. Oh yeah, I can hear it clearly now. It's, Elton John is on stage. Oh yeah, I believe he's playing your song or Little Genie. Yes, Little Genie, that's it. You know, it's always great to hear Elton perform live. Like, I remember, wait a minute. It might not be Elton at all. It could be Elton or Limp Bizkit. I'm gonna have to get to a better position to tell you for sure. I think I saw an open window down the alley. I'll check it out and try to get back to you later, Len. Back to you in the studio.
Oh, thanks, Tom, great job. Going now to the other official tailgate party, we take you from Planet Hollywood in Pismo Beach to a bowling alley in South Lansing, and our reporter on the scene, Chris Johnson. Chris?
Thanks, Lynn. I'm here at Big Ben's Bowl-O-Rama and Donut Shack, and as you can see, this place is hopping. Among the people attending today are friends, family, and several salesmen from Daffy's former employer, the Fuller Brush Company. This thing only just got going a little while ago, but it's been a heck of a party already. Take a look for yourself.
Quack, 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 quack. Who let the duck out? Quack, 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 quack. Who let the duck out? Quack, 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 quack. Who let the duck out?
Chris, are there any celebrities there, like at the Bugs party?
Well, yes, Lynn, I do have someone here who claims to be Bugs Bunny. That is, however, under some debate.
What's up, dude?
Chris, this is not Bugs Bunny. Bugs Bunny's warming up for the big game. I mean, he wouldn't be here if he was Bugs Bunny.
Yes, what about that? Why are you in a bowling alley in South Lansing so very close to game time?
It's just my pregame ritual. I mean, the bowling is just good for the focus, for me. And Big Ben, all you can eat donuts. It's just like, Ben, the donuts, thank you.
What about carrots?
Carrots. Don't do so well with carrots. Don't agree with me.
Chris, Bugs Bunny loves carrots. I mean, this person's obviously an imposter. He's stealing our lanes. He's stealing our limelight. I mean, it's despicable what he's doing. I mean, seriously, it's despicable.
I thought I saw a pretty tat.
Chris, that isn't even the right, that's not even the right phrase. I mean, come on, that's pathetic. I mean, we reserve these lanes, they're duck lanes, and he's taking them.
What about that, Bugs?
Well, these are actually rabbit lanes.
They're duck lanes.
These are rabbit lanes.
Duck lanes.
Duck lanes.
They're rabbit lanes.
Duck lanes.
Look, they're rabbit lanes, and that's final.
You said it.
You just gave the lanes to Bugs.
No, that's not what I meant. I made a mistake. That's not. No, I reserved the lanes. I reserved
You gonna be around later?
We'll talk. Well, then, that is the story here from Big Ben's Bowl-O-Rama and Donut Shack. Back to you in the studio. I'm Chris Johnson.
Wow, a bowling alley and donut shack all in one. That's a slice of heaven. The big game is minutes away. The players are suiting up and making sure they have no embarrassing panty lines.
Lenny, I hate those.
Well, ready or not, gentlemen, it's time to make our prediction. Jerry, who is it going to be?
I like Rudy. Call me crazy, but he's a survivor. The Australian outback is rugged territory. But as a former Navy SEAL...
Jerry, first of all, Rudy isn't even on the Survivor this year.
He's not?
That was last year. And then secondly, we're not talking about Survivor. This is the big game, Bugs versus Daffy. Who do you like?
In that case, it's Daffy all the way. Bugs doesn't stand a chance. Pull out your Chinese calendars, gentlemen. It's the year of the duck.
Sorry, Jerry, but I think maybe you had too much MSG because Bugs has got this one in the bag.
Oh, I don't think so. Come on.
Jerry, granted, Daffy really is a good player. Don't get me wrong. He'd fare well against Michigan J. Frog or an inch-eye Private Eye, but Bugs is a master, a Mozart. He is to the big game what Jordan is to basketball or what DiMaggio is to coffee. Bugs just does not lose games like this. He's just too good and too smart. Or maybe it's those 4 rabbit feet that he keeps in his pocket. I don't know, but I think it's Bugs all the way.
He's going to need those lucky rabbit's feet today, Nick. Let's look at 2 simple facts. First of all, Birds have won the last 2 big games. Roadrunner beat Coyote and Tweety beat Silvestri. That's right. So there's the Bird advantage. Secondly, sure, Bugs has won a lot of games, but I think it's made him a little soft.
So is the new guy going for the underdog?
I'm tempted, but when it's all said and done, I still say smart money's on Bugs.
So, Chris, what do you think?
Well, you know, Lenny, these are 2 really fine competitors, and this is a tight game. Both players are agile, crafty, and go nicely over rice. And Dan's right, Bugs can't get too cocky. He's got to watch that sense of direction. And Daffy, on the other hand, he's got to remember his fundamentals. If Bugs says duck season, you say rabbit season. And if Bugs switches to rabbit season, don't you flip to duck season. If that happens, and it probably will, Bugs is going to coast to another easy win. That's why I'm casting my vote for Bugs.
Well, once again, Jerry stands alone.
Hey, I don't mind standing alone. I'm like the Lone Ranger.
Yeah, more like Custer, I would say.
Well, I'm afraid I can't be your Tonto, Jerry. I, too, believe in the bunny. Now let's look at the tally. Okay, Nick, Chris, Dan, and me are for Bugs. And for Daffy, we've got Jerry Glanville.
You'll see, you'll see. I'll be king of the office pool.
If Daffy wins, Jerry, I'll tell you what, I'll wear a dress. How's that?
You heard that here. I'm counting on that.
Can we move along right here? Because I'm not real comfortable visualizing Nick in a dress.
Good call, Dan. That's the best audible that I've heard all day. Anyway, it's time to wrap up. So thank you for watching the Big Game pregame show. We'll see you at halftime.
Bugs season started off with a bang with explosive victories over Rocky and Muggsy, Pete Puma, and Blackjack Shellac, followed by back-to-back shutouts against a dog, a rabbit, and Witch Hazel. It wasn't until week 6 that Bugs was handed his first loss. He slipped up in a game against the Gremlin, losing 34-12 and getting his foot wrenched in the process. Fortunately, week 7 was a washout due to excessive rain, giving Bugs time to rest and rebuild. And he came back with a vengeance in the weeks that followed, giving Elmer Fudd a butt-kicking he won't forget, spanking a well-armed baby, and stripping this cowboy of all hopes of losing gracefully. And when an opera singer won Pete Townsend on the rabbit with a banjo, Bugs orchestrated a high-key offense that left the singer blue in the face. With this stunning string of wins, Bugs was headed for the playoffs. The first round found Bugs running up against top-ranked Tasmanian Devil, but Bugs expertly stopped Taz in his tracks. Round 2 brought more of the same, with Bugs outgunning Yosemite Sam and sitting on an early lead to stay on top the rest of the game. In the conference championship, Bugs squared off against Marvin Martian. Fans watched as if the fate of the world hung in the balance, but Bugs showed no mercy, using brute bunny force to pummel Marvin and later disintegrating his offense. Marvin's going to need a few seasons to rebuild from that. Maybe not. Now on his way to the big game, Bugs is the heavy favorite against longtime foe Daffy Duck. But Daffy is hungry and yearning to finish his Cinderella season with a victory dance at the ball. Will Bugs' season end like it began, with a bang, or with a whimper? Only time will tell.
While the season was practically a one-way ticket to the big game for Bugs Bunny, the path didn't always seem as clear for Daffy Duck.
Coming off last year's devastating 3-13 season, Daffy Duck didn't use his off-season to rebuild in the traditional sense. So he spent the 2 weeks prior to opening day struggling to get into shape. When riding an imaginary bike proved fruitless, Daffy moved on to an actual treadmill and a series of other exercises. And it paid off. Daffy opened the season strong against Elmer Fudd with a hammering offense that Elmer never saw coming. He used a similar strategy in week 2 against a large man who clearly didn't want to be disturbed, squeaking out of that game with a mere 2-point margin of victory. Week 3 brought more of the same, with Daffy pulling out a nail-biter against non-conference opponent Marvin Martian. And it looked like Daffy might be on a roll until the injury. It was in a game against former CNL teammate Porky Pig. Ahead with a comfortable lead, Daffy suddenly took a nasty fall out of a hotel window. He managed to stay in the game, but was handed his first loss of the season. The lingering injury was surely a factor the following weeks when he fell to an extremely thin turkey, and then to a dog with a fancy slingshot. It wasn't until week 7 that Daffy was able to tiptoe his way through a minefield, literally, and upset longtime rival Speedy Gonzalez. And with a fortunately soft schedule, he snatched wins from such lesser-known players as the Moon, a bigger turkey, and some guy with a butter knife. With his injury behind him, Daffy changed things up a bit, bombing his opponents with an aerial display so awesome fans swore it must have been on the ground. But it wasn't. It was in the air. Oh, wait, let me check my notes. Yes, the air. Definitely in the air. Daffy then used his momentum to catapult himself into the playoffs, where as fate would have it, he once again met former teammate and longtime friend Porky Pig. This time they were playing for the conference championship and a trip to the big game. With his injuries well healed, Daffy left nothing to chance. Fans who witnessed the onslaught say they've never seen anything like it. Daffy's speed was superhuman, or super duck, if that's even a word. He routed Porky by a score of 43-0. Now clearly in top form, Daffy heads to the big game to face a foe who's always gotten the best of him. Even his own fans are asking the question, does Daffy have what it takes to finally win the big one? Or is he, as critics charge, just a lucky duck?
Welcome, everyone, to Big Game 29, Bugs versus Daffy. I'm Pat Summerall, and beside me is my partner, my compadre, my confidant, John Madden.
Thanks, Pat. Can you believe this is happening?
A stirring rendition of the national anthem.
I don't care what anyone says. Brack rules.
And you can expect more exciting commentary just like that when we return with the kickoff of Big Game 29 right after this. Bugs versus Daffy. I'm Pat Summerall alongside John Madden. There's the kickoff, and we're underway, and Bugs is moving in.
He better watch it, Pat. It looks like we've got a muddy field today, and those big feet of his are making serious tracks. That's not good if you're trying to avoid Elmer Fudd.
Or if you just mopped.
Wait, hold the phone. That's not Bugs. It's Daffy, setting a trail right to Bugs' rabbit hole.
Elmer on the field. We're not even a minute into the game, and he's already going to the run and gun.
More like a walking gun.
Or maybe a trot. Daffy mugs to the crowd a bit and hides behind a rock. Bugs appears and draws fire. Daffy scores.
What's up, Doc?
Bugs takes control with a catchphrase recovery.
A good start by Daffy. But look at this. You'd think a bullet going side to side would just make a smooth groove across. But here it's made a bunch of separate grooves. like he was shot from several different angles.
Maybe Elmer wasn't the lone gunman.
And look at this mailbox. It doesn't have a flag. How's a mailman supposed to know when to pick up the mail?
Maybe it's on the other side.
I bet neighbor kids stole it.
Neighbor kids. Last Halloween, they mushed my jack-o'-lantern.
You know, Pat, with clever banner like this, it's no wonder those other guys are adding comics to their announcer team.
I heard Cartoon Network was thinking of adding Carrot Top to this show.
Carrot Top? That would have been one of the worst business decisions ever.
You said it. It would have been right up there on the list with other bad business decisions, like adding Scrappy to Scooby-Doo and not making the Shamrock Shake a permanent menu item.
Don't forget that Big Brother show.
I already have. Now back to the game. There seems to be some controversy as to whether it's rabbit season or duck season. Let's listen in.
Duck season. Rabbit season. Duck season. Rabbit season. Rabbit season. Duck season. Rabbit season. I say it's duck season, and I say fire.
Whoa! Daffy really shot himself in the foot on that one.
Actually, it was the bill, John.
That's true, Pat. But I got to tell you, the signs were there. Watch how Bugs gives a little eye signal when he switches his offense. See? Right there. But Daffy was too caught up in the heat of the moment to catch him.
Mojo Jojo not happy with Daffy's playing.
Let's try that again.
What's this?
Okay.
Daffy's running the same play.
Time. Right. Rabbit season. Duck season. Rabbit season. Rabbit season. Duck season. Fire!
Bugs scored.
Daffy's gotten really turned around on that play. He doesn't know which way's up or down.
Elmer fires again. Out of bullets.
Well, what do you know? No more bullets. Hey, laughing boy.
This could help Daffy and break Bugs' momentum. But wait, Daffy's going for the gun. He's looking at the wrong end.
Well, what do you know? One bullet left.
Daffy really got scalped on this play.
And look at the size of that bullet. Incredible.
You said it, Pat. I don't know how a bullet that size came out of Elmer's gun.
Elmer's on the prowl again, and there's Bugs.
Oh, I think that's Daffy. See how he's black and has the bill?
Well, what about the ears, and the big teeth, and the cottontail?
No, there's Bugs. He's dressed up as the duck.
I thought that was Daffy. Now I'm really confused.
So's Elmer.
Elmer in the shotgun formation. Daffy scored. No, wait a minute. Bugs scored.
Mojo Jojo is challenging the call. So the refs are going to review that play. Okay, the call stands. Daffy's not happy with the call at all. He's really chewing out Bugs on this one. And Bugs is going back to the playbook.
Actually, it's a cookbook.
This is something. Bugs is calling out ways for Elmer to cook Daffy. What would Emerald say?
Duck Polonaise undeclared.
That sounds pretty good.
Not to be outdone, Daffy gets a rabbit cookbook.
Now, this just doesn't make any sense to me. Daffy clearly got this book out of Bugs' rabbit hole. But why would Bugs ever have a book called 1,000 Ways to Cook a Rabbit? That's just crazy. I'm not sure what kind of weird stuff Bugs is into, but this just doesn't make sense to me.
Now the ball's in Daffy's court, and he changes the offense. Elmer hits him with a slam.
Ouch! He didn't even get to see Daffy's backhand.
Now Daffy's going deep, and Bugs is on his tail. Bugs on D. He says Elmer's equipment isn't regulation.
For shame, Doc. Hunting rabbits with an elephant gun.
Elephant gun?
That's right, Doc. So why don't you go shoot yourself an elephant? You do, and I'll give you such a pinch.
That's a smart play on the part of Bugs. Daffy drafted Elmer. Bugs gets an elephant to even things up. That elephant will have big game memories to last a lifetime.
They never forget, you know. Elephants.
That's right, Pat.
Last play of the quarter.
Elmer's going deep into Bugs' end zone. Well, what's this?
Ba-ba-boom. What a hottie.
Hold on, Pat. I think that's Bugs, disguised as a beautiful woman.
I know.
This is something. Look at this. Bugs went for the blonde wig, the pink sweater, lipstick. That's typical. But look at the little black bows on the ankle. They really set off the legs.
I'm looking.
Daffy runs interference, and Bugs goes in for the pass to Elmer.
Yes, I would just love a duck dinner.
Elmer's dumbstruck.
Ouch! Daffy really got handed his bill on that one. in a humiliating close to the first quarter.
The score is 13-3. Bugs in the lead.
Daffy's strategy to bring in Elmer has really backfired.
You said it, John. I never knew a bill could be blown off in so many different ways. Like here, and look at this one. Let's take a break for some very expensive commercials, and we'll be back with the second quarter of the big game, Bugs versus Daffy. Switch things up a bit.
He's gone to the run-and-gun offense, which he learned from Elmer.
We'll see if it works, but holy winter storm. A blizzard seems to have brewed up out of nowhere.
Amazing! That's the biggest surprise of the day so far.
It sure is. Another big surprise was you forgetting to wear pants and the complimentary waffles in my dressing room.
Now that was nice. I was also surprised by the wink the parking attendant gave me.
Maybe that was because you forgot to wear your pants.
That could have had something to do with it.
And Daffy is on the move. He catches Bugs off guard, but Bugs doesn't seem fazed. He hops to his feet. And there's a brief exchange. Now it looks as if Daffy's holding.
I'd say he's holding. He's blatantly grabbing Bugs' jersey. I can't believe the refs aren't calling that.
Bugs reads the play perfectly. He kisses Daffy, and it looks like the run-and-gun offense has backfired.
Even with the penalty, Bugs saw that play coming all the way. Daffy's just lucky he wasn't injured.
With Daffy still on the attack, Bugs makes use of the decoy defense.
This is something that's always worked for Bugs, and it surprises me because, honestly, the Snow Bunny doesn't look that much like him. He looks more like one of those extras from M. Butterfly.
Or a very pale Jack Palance.
I can see that.
Daffy tries to stick him, and I don't think he ever expected this.
That's right. Well, there are a lot of things that you might find under a decoy Snow Bunny. An Angry Bear is way down the list.
Above Angry Bear on the list of things you might expect to find under a decoy Snow Bunny are more snow, your keys, or a little man made entirely of wicker and bamboo shoots riding a magical donkey named Mr. Sugar Britches.
I had one of those as a kid.
You were spoiled. Back to the action now, and Daffy is on the run. It looks like his game plan is falling to pieces before our eyes.
If he's going to stay in this game, he's going to have to pull himself together and fast.
It looks like he may have done that, thanks to a little TNT. And I'm not talking about the cable channel.
No, you're not, Pat. Although that is a very entertaining network.
I especially enjoy the reruns of ER.
Me too.
The rabbit hole has started to move, and I don't think Daffy has a clue.
Technically, this should be offside. But as we've seen, these refs aren't calling a lot of penalties.
With the dynamite right behind him, Daffy's going to push the lever down. I got to cover my ears.
This was just a bad idea. Daffy has never had good luck with dynamite. And it's not something you want to test in a game as important as this one.
Daffy's on the move again, still in a shotgun formation.
He doesn't seem to be paying attention to any of the signs. And that's where Daffy always gets himself into trouble.
He's walked right into another trapping offense, once again complete with an Angry Bear.
Daffy is definitely having a bad bear day. Get it? Bad bear day.
Where's Carrot Top when you need him?
I heard he's in Branson, Missouri, performing in a one-man show with Pauly Shore.
That's a hot ticket. Daffy's racing down the field now, but wait. He's taking a sign from Bugs.
I don't get it. He ignores the important signs, then reads the signs from his opponent.
Bugs moves fast now, quickly closing the gap. And Daffy's going to take a substantial loss on the play.
Now, that was a broken play from the beginning. Daffy should have just gone down early, and then he might not have given up the big yardage.
Moving down the field once again. Daffy is in Bugs' red zone.
I've always wondered why they call it the red zone. I mean, it's not red. Wouldn't a more exciting name be the danger zone? The twilight zone?
How about the no parking zone?
Yeah, Pat. That's exciting, too.
Let's listen to the exchange on the field.
Is it okay to talk yet?
That's a devastating play for Daffy. Especially when he was so close to scoring.
Bugs is moving down the field once again with Daffy right behind him.
I'm not sure why Daffy's sticking with a shotgun formation. Not only hasn't it worked yet, but last time it blew right up in his face.
Daffy's in motion. Now he's running a flare pattern, but he's having some sort of a meltdown.
Amazing. Daffy just froze and let Bugs break down the field.
Daffy's gone back to his run-and-gun offense again. But Bugs is ready. He's set.
road. That's exactly what the pros mean when they talk about having a solid front line. Daffy never stood a chance of getting through there.
Getting close to the end of the first half, and Daffy wastes no time getting back to the line of scrimmage.
Daffy should be called for intentional grounding, but the refs didn't call it.
I can't figure out what the refs are watching.
Could be last year's big game, Coyote versus Roadrunner, or maybe On the Waterfront. I love that film. Or they could be watching the clouds roll away.
Maybe, but that's only likely if they're sitting on the dock of the bay. Back to the play now, and the ball has come loose.
What is Bugs doing? I've never seen anyone get out of the way on a fumble.
He must have a plan. The ball is up in the air and heading for Daffy. 3 Bears pop up, and now there's a mad scramble.
I can't believe it. Bugs is already heading to the locker room for the half. He's not even going to stay in the field.
And Daffy is going to let the clock run out and hope that those Bears don't eat him. So the half ends with the score Bugs Bunny 20, Daffy Duck 6. Coming up, we'll have our halftime show extravaganza. But right now, let's take a break for some commercials, and we'll be back with this big game, Bugs versus Daffy.
What a first half. It had drama, it had excitement, it had romance. Well, kissing anyway. The only thing it didn't have was 2 evenly matched opponents. Gentlemen?
Lenny, these 2 players don't even belong on the same field today. Bugs has earned his spot out there, but Daffy, he's playing like he belongs in a petting zoo for has-been ducks.
Ouch.
Well, I'll try to throw Daffy a few breadcrumbs. The refs haven't been calling a lot of penalties. As we all know, Daffy loves to cheat. So he could use this to his advantage, but the weather, which no one could have expected, has been a real setback for Daffy. He's spastic out there while Bugs is taken to the snow like a duck to water.
Maybe Daffy needs to get back to his home turf, a pond perhaps.
Well, it's obvious web feet don't work very well on ice. All I know is if something doesn't change, we could be looking at another blowout.
There's another factor you didn't mention, Chris, and that's Elmer. I've said it before, he's a wild card, and I like what he can bring to the game. If Daffy can figure out how to use Elmer, he can see a very different second half.
Jerry, as Daffy's only pregame fan, you seem noticeably subdued right now.
I'm just wondering, is it too late to change my vote?
Hey, you do that, and I'm going to give you such a pinch.
Okay, I'll stay with Daffy. Heck, you never know.
Let's go now to our halftime show extravaganza featuring one of America's favorite female pop stars.
Is it Britney Spears?
Christina Aguilera?
Madonna?
I know. It's Rosemary Clooney.
Easy, fellas. You'll have time to scream and tear at your hair soon enough. It's time for the show.
And now, the Big Game Halftime Show, sponsored by Scooby Snacks. Try our new extreme flavors: Bermuda Blast, Cajun Swirl, and Cat. Stage left exits. When you have to get out in a hurry, exit stage left. Pepe Le Pew body spray. The ladies say, ooh, when you wear Le Pew. Chemical X. LegionofDoom.net, serving all your world domination needs online. Red Guy's Pork Butts, the other red meat. Bills, supplying duck bills to Daffy for over 40 years. America's hottest boy band in tune with their hit single, Baby, I'm Drawn to You. Sufferin' Succotash and other fine vegetables. Nothing livens up a party like sufferin'. Spike, he's a really big dog. Spike. The Carrot Board. You saw what we did to those spinach farmers. Got carrot? Jellystone Park. Our bears talk. The Gary Coleman cartoon. Seriously, this is a cartoon. Quest Enterprises. We didn't make the Quantum Drive hovercraft. We made the Quantum Drive hovercraft better. MyAcmeOnline.com, home of the E-Anvil. And the First National Bank of Bedrock, keeping your stones safe for over 600,000 years. And now, the Big Game Halftime Show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the teen queen of pop music, Cow!
We were laughing and having fun, and you thought I was the only one. My life is just a happy song, but that's when things went so wrong. Oops, I spilled the milk. What do I do now? I'm a naughty cow. Oh, your shirt is drenched, your hair is wet. You said you would do it together back. You left me here in humiliation of the victim of spontaneous elapsation. Ooh, I spilled the milk. What do I do now? Oh, I'm a naughty cow. I'm a naughty cow.
How about that halftime show?
That was just about the best halftime show I've ever seen. Great sponsors and a dancing cow. That was great. Cow opened strong with some hot lead vocal and solid secondary support from these top-grade stadium acoustics. And that helped keep everything moving towards a touching finale.
She's another hottie. The second half is now underway, and it looks like Daffy is going back to his original strategy.
Hey, neighbor.
He's got Elmer covered, and he's trying to draw Bugs out in the flat. Elmer shoots, and Daffy scores. A well-executed play to open the half.
This is a good call by Daffy. This play worked well for him to open the game. And I always say, you dance with the one you brung.
That's true. You do always say that. Other things John always says are, I can't find my socks. Watch your back, Gomer. And are you going to finish that?
Wow, your stats guy really knows his stuff. I'm impressed.
I'll tell him you said so. Let's get back down to the field where Daffy's in the hurry-up offense.
I guess I'm the goat.
Brutal.
I'm a dirty skunk.
Ruthless.
Am I a bitch?
Unsavory.
That was a devastating series of downs for Daffy, just as he was getting his game back together.
Bugs on the attack now, mixing it up with Elmer. Let's listen in.
I'm not a stewing wabbit. I'm a fricasseeing wabbit. Fricasseeing wabbit? Have you got a fricasseeing wabbit license? Well, no. Do you happen to know what the penalty is for shooting a fricasseeing wabbit without a fricasseeing wabbit license?
The refs are penalizing Bugs for unsportsmanlike conduct.
Pat, they're upset with him for using the word fricasseeing. And frankly, that surprises me. I mean, it's a word that Emeril Lagasse uses all the time.
It sure is. In fact, Emeril has other phrases that are far more questionable, like focaccia, grease the pan, that's a spicy meatball, blackened snapper, and nice gherkin.
Maybe Bugs was just testing the refs.
Both players are moving down the field now, but Daffy suddenly breaks away. He's in the clear, going deep, and he stopped.
I'm not even sure what kind of play Bugs ran there, but it was some kind of misdirection, and Daffy fell right for it.
Back to the no-huddle offense, and Daffy's in motion. But once again, he misses the sign, and it looks like he's in trouble.
Daffy should be thrown for a serious loss here. He's run smack into a giant, abominable snow monster. He's going to have to think fast to get out of this one.
There aren't many things that are worse to run into than a giant, abominable snow monster, but there are a few.
That's right, Matt. They include two giant, abominable snow monsters. That guy from the Halloween movies, the original cast of Silver Spoons, and a really angry ferret. But even then, giant, abominable snow monster is way up there.
Daffy looks like he's shaken up on the play. And now he's really taking a spanking. Daffy runs a reverse.
Now this is a nice play. Bugs walked right into that one, and Daffy picks up an easy score.
It's not over yet. The giant, abominable snow monster is piling on, and Bugs is hit hard. But he scrambles out from underneath the stack and moves down the field.
Bugs is pulling a reverse of his own, but this one's straight out of Daffy's playbook. I can't believe he doesn't see it coming.
Even worse, he's unaware that he's being pushed right back to the giant, abominable snow monster. Bugs runs his play. The ears are up. And the trick is good. Bugs scored.
That giant abominable snow monster is having a field day with Daffy. I think I just heard Daffy's neck snap.
That's something Daffy should be more careful about.
You know it, Pat. You got to watch the snap.
Daffy breaks free again. And as the third quarter winds down, he sends the giant abominable snow monster on his way and then chases after him. It looks like we could be in for a change of location for the fourth quarter.
Can I mention that I kind of like saying giant abominable snow monster? To be honest, I find it kind of annoying at first, but now I'm really into it. In fact, I think I'll look for a way to work it into my everyday conversation. Like, what's up, giant abominable snow monster? Or nice move, you giant abominable snow monster, you? Or could you pass the stuffing, giant abominable snow monster?
And that's the end of the third quarter with Daffy hanging in there. The score, Bugs Bunny 27, Daffy 14. And we'll be right back after these very special and expensive big game commercials. Up and Bugs is starting to relax.
Yeah, and I don't like it, Pat. Bugs has got to remember that it isn't over until the fat lady sings.
Or at least hums very loudly. Daffy's on the move. He pops through a hole and gets sacked by Bugs.
Daffy seems stunned. He's got no idea what's going on.
The giant abominable snow monster has got Daffy wrapped up, and Bugs scores again.
I'm surprised the giant abominable snow monster is still out there. I figured in heat like this, he'd be a washout.
Good call, John. Daffy seems to have taken to him like a duck to water, putting an end to Bugs scoring drive.
The giant abominable snow monster has completely melted. I haven't seen anything like this since that Frosty the Snowman game in '68. All that was left of him was a corncob pipe and a button nose.
Don't forget those eyes, John. Those eyes made out of coal, staring right through you. It's too horrible to remember.
And the thing about the giant abominable snow monster, he really wasn't that abominable. He was actually pretty friendly.
He used to hold me, squeeze me, and call me George. It was special.
He did that to everyone, Pat.
Daffy's floating down the field now, but Bugs has him on the ropes.
That's what's great about Daffy. He's not going to let a little thing like the lack of a boat stop him from using an outboard motor.
Daffy scrambles. He's up in the air and thrown to the ground for another loss. And as if to add salt to the wound, Bugs is going to hop right over Daffy wearing a pair of springs on his feet.
What's a rabbit doing with springs anyway? They hop naturally.
It's part of his merchandising agreement. Ka-ching, ka-ching.
That's a nice beat. I could dance to that. Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching.
Daffy looking for the key to winning this game, but not finding it here.
I don't get it, Pat. The sign clearly says, to start Avalanche, pull Keystone. What's he thinking? At this rate, Daffy's going to lose by a landslide.
Now Daffy's trying some sort of tree catapult thingy.
This looks like something out of the Wile E. Coyote playbook.
Daffy goes long and gets stopped by a mountain.
This is getting more predictable than a Scooby-Doo episode. Why on earth did he slam himself into the mountain?
Because it was there. Daffy trying desperately to get the lead.
I'm ahead, and I'm going to stay ahead. I'm way out in front.
He needs to watch where he's going, Pat. See, he's running out of bounds.
I wonder if Daffy will remember that he can fly. I guess not.
Good observation by Buck. Why isn't Daffy using his God-given natural flying advantage? We've seen it work so well for other players, like Tweety versus Sylvester in '99. A little flapping could have really saved him from this fall.
Daffy's driving through with a scooter.
Wings! He has wings! Wings are better than a scooter.
Especially their album, Band on the Run.
Which, to remind you, is about 25 years older than our average viewer.
Sorry. Daffy plows through Bugs and scores.
Wow, Daffy may not win this thing, but he's certainly not going to go quietly.
But before he can do his victory dance, Daffy falls into the drink.
I wonder if that silly duck will remember that he can swim. Well, I guess not.
Interesting play by Buck. Now, we've seen both players use signs to trick and mislead their opponent during the game. Rabbit season, mongoose season, or in here quick when it's a bear's cage. But here, Bugs fooled Daffy by having a sign that told the truth. He tricked Daffy with honesty.
It really is the best policy. Bugs running to score in this TV center. And now Daffy's cracking out the jetpack.
Look at this, Pat. It's not an Acme brand jetpack. It's generic. Daffy's learning how to stretch a buck.
Daffy flies in the skyscraper, tackles Bugs.
What's up, Doc?
Whoops, gas trouble. He's still got him wrapped up as they head into the antique glass shop.
This is like the proverbial bull in a china shop, except it's a duck and a rabbit in an antique glass shop.
And out. Daffy scores.
You know, I hate it when they put that extra P-E on the word shop.
It's frou-frou. Both players are heavily injured, and Dexter has called a timeout.
I think Dexter's getting nervous. There's an outside chance Daffy could turn this thing around.
Right, like Daffy's going to beat Bugs Bunny.
Hey, I'm just trying to create some drama here.
Last play of the game, and Daffy's returning to dance with the one who brung it.
This is a Hail Mary play if I've ever seen one.
Elmer fires into the hole. Daffy scores and ties it up. Unbelievable.
But this won't last long. Any second, Bugs is going to pop out of that hole and finish this off.
Elmer looks and fires again. Daffy scores again. Goal!
Goal! Daffy's got the lead. This is amazing. Dexter's going nuts.
I think Dexter is going to demand a recount. The clock is about to run out. 10, 9, 8.
Where could Bugs be? His comic timing is usually impeccable.
3, 2, 1. And that's it. The game is over, and Daffy's won. Daffy Duck has won the big game.
Oh, the humanity. Pinch me, Pat. I'm dreaming. Ow, Pat.
You said pinch you.
Can you hear the Daffy fans? This is truly the biggest upset in history. Do you believe in mallards? Do you believe in mallards?
I know where Daffy's going. He's going to Diz. No, wait. I don't know where he's going.
Elmer and Daffy can't believe they won either. Look at him. Elmer's still firing. Daffy's still shaking his head in shock.
I can't believe it. Let's go back to the boys in the studio for some analysis. I'm going to go down to the field and run like a crazy man.
I'm with you there, Patty.
Our final score for this historic game, Daffy Duck 37, Bugs Bunny 31. For John Madden, I'm Pat Summerall. Goal!
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oof.
This can't be. It just can't be.
I was right. In your face, Daffy, baby. Daffy rocks.
Well,
What Lynn is trying to say is this game seems to be over. Dan?
Well, this is one heck of a big game. Another victory for Bugs, his 7th, and another emotional loss for Daffy.
Dan, Daffy won, Bugs lost.
But I don't have any script prepared for Daffy.
You don't need scripts. You were right. That Elmer factor actually was a factor. Daffy used that to win the game.
Right. That's what I meant.
I'm gonna lose a bundle on this game.
You know, in all of my 32 years of broadcasting, I have never seen anything like this. It's the upset of the millennium.
Wait a second. Jerry changed his pick at halftime. I remember that.
No, I didn't. You wouldn't let me.
Come on, Len. Something is wrong. Something is definitely wrong. This has got to be some kind of stunt by Bugs. Can we just check back on the field and make sure nothing has changed?
Nope, no action down there. So it looks like this final is final.
I'm the champion, the Lone Ranger.
I think I'm going to be sick.
Hey, Nick, I remember somebody saying they'd wear a dress if Daffy won.
I remember it was Lenny.
Lenny, my eye. I got the dress for you right here, Nick.
No.
There it is.
Oh, is this strapless?
Well, it looks like we're winding down here on the Big Game 29. Once again, the final score. Daffy, are we sure about this?
Yeah, that's it, man.
Okay, final score, Daffy Duck 37, Bugs Bunny 31. For all of us here at Cartoon Network Sports, thanks for watching, and good night.
Well, if Bugs has a plan, he better use it now because the credits are starting to roll.
I'm telling you, this has got to be one of the last stunts by Bugs. It's got to be, you know. But these sequins aren't bad.
Bugs better hurry up. Not only has the clock run out, but the credits have gotten all the way up to the key grip. And once you get past the key grip, it's going to be pretty tough to turn things around.
Should we check back on the field one more time, just in case?
Nope. Still nothing.
Unbelievable.
Guys, this color, does it make me look fat?
No, it looks good. It looks
You
good.
look good in it.
Would you take a look at that? Bugs cashed it all in and took off for Tahiti. He truly is a wascally wabbit.